Hi, you guys. Okay, Power Book to Ghost, Season 2, Episode 5, Coming Home to Roost. Okay, the episodes open up with Zeke. He's about to turn himself in. And he's turning himself in a stretch SUV. For what? I don't know. They doing too much. But anyhow, when they get there, Jenny tells them, after all, we won't be needing Zeke. And remember, this comes from the body that Ramirez's body that Kane dug up just confirmed to law enforcement that Ramirez was dead about 2 weeks now, so it's no way that him and Jabari's murder are linked. Davis would like an explanation, but Zeke is trying to get the fuck up out of there. And that's what he did. Monet tells Zeke, I told you everything would work out. And he tells her, like, look, after that interview, I don't know who would want to pick me in the draft. Now, when Jenny let Zeke and Davis know that they will no longer need them, Kamal was about to explain that Zeke is no longer a suspect. Whitman cuts Kamal off and he says, no, it was a new development in the case. Kamal says to Whitman, like, look, why are you so hard up on Zeke being the murderer? Ramirez and Reynolds was both killed with the same gun, Ramirez gun. If Zeke was going to kill him, why would he give you Ramirez PBA card? That doesn't make sense. Whitman found it fishy that Ramirez's body pops up after Zeke interview. And Kamal's like, no, you're so worried about that. Zeke isn't our only lead, Jabari's novel. He explains that Jabari's first novel was based off true events, and this one is mocking that. Except for this one is about a school and some serious drug activities that take place at a campus very similar to Stansville. Kamal and Whitman goes over to Carrie's office and asks for her help reading the manuscripts, Jabari's manuscript. And Monet had just called her and told Carrie that whatever she's doing to stop, that Zeke is in the clear, everything is all good. And that if she sees Carrie's face or hears Carrie's name again, that it's going to be trouble. So stay the fuck away from Zeke. So Carrie is like, look, I'm not trying to get into that. No, I'm done. And Kamal says, don't you want to find Jabari's killers? All we ask you do is read the manuscripts. Okay, Tyreek, he wakes up anxious. He's up. He's texting McLean, checking up on Zeke. Stayed the night at Lauren, so he yells in the bathroom at Lauren and tell her he got to go. By the time Lauren come out, he is gone. You ain't know? I gotta go. Where you going? I gotta get back to the money, you ain't know? That's Tyreek theme music for these girls. Tyreek goes back to his room, grab his bag, and him and Brayton is having small talk. Brayton did not tell him what he been up to with Kane. Brayton tells Tyreek he has a hangover, and Brayton also tells Tyreek that they need to discuss this drug sweep because a couple of their customers got caught up in it. Tyreek is in a panic because he just know that Kane is going to come after his ass, I think, and he ain't got time for it. He's packing some shit up in the bag, and Brayton hears Tyreek cock his gun. So Brayton turns over. He's like, is everything okay? Tyreek tells him, look, just focus on clearing the room out, put everything on the roof. He said, if Kane come by here looking for me, matter of fact, if any of the Tejada family come looking for me, you don't know shit. Stay away from Kane. Text me if he come here. Father like son, Tyreek is keeping vital information away from Brayton. Tyreek makes it to colonic class, and Lauren asks him where did he run off to. He tells her that he had to find a place for him and Yaz to stay. Class is starting. Carrie comes out there and she writes on the blackboard, comma. The class is thrown off like this wasn't in our assignment last night and last night's reading. And Carrie said, who can define karma? Lauren answered an Indian belief that our actions, good or bad, can affect our future. Carrie asks the class, and why is that important in ethics class? And everybody is trying to answer. She says Tariq. Tariq says karma is a law of cause and effect. Tate was about to chime in, and Carrie said, I think you can dig deeper than that, Tariq. Again, other students are trying to answer the question, and Carrie says, please, I'm looking for Tariq's perspective. Everyone is looking confused like, man, what is your problem? Tariq is like, I don't understand what you want me to say. And Carrie says, karma means that you can't escape your sins. No matter how fast or how far you may run, it will always catch up to you. Wouldn't you agree, Tariq? Okay, class is over. Lauren and Tariq is walking on campus. And Lauren says, Professor Milgram was really trying to prove a point with you today. So Tariq is like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was about. He spot Zeke on campus, and Lauren's like, oh, I'm surprised he wasn't arrested after that interview. Girl, little do you know. Nate appears out of nowhere like a stalker, and she's like, Tariq, I need to speak with you. Tariq tells Lauren that he has to holler at Zeke's aunt very quick and that he'll catch up with her later. Monet says to Tariq, if the first thing I told you is to keep Zeke out the business, why did I have to find out from Kane that you was the one who murdered Jabari? She's talking about Tariq lied to her face and him and Kane was going to let Zeke Kane for Jabari's murder. Tariq tells her, look, Jabari was doing way too much. Figured out the CTG pool murder. Kane heard him mention Drew's name and he shot him. And he tells Monet, I just cleaned it up. And he was the one who got McLean straight on it. Monet asks him, how I know I can trust you? And Tariq explains that he was going to pin all of this stuff on Ramirez. He didn't know about Zeke and Carrie, let alone the police even looking into him. Monet allows Tariq a chance to earn back her respect by finding out Kane's connect. She wants a name, and she tells Tariq if Kane finds out, it's going to feel like they've been working together, and the next time her gun won't stay on her lap. If I was Tariq, I would have told Monet, you got life fucked up. A lot of this shit, all of this shit is because of your son, your crazy ass son. Keep him the fuck away from me. I can understand Monet being upset because Tariq lied to her in her face and he could have just came out and said it. But Kane is a loose cannon that she has no control over. Monet had met up with Dante down at her bar because she tells him because she don't trust his little hotel rooms. He explains to him everything that happened with Zeke and how they let him go. Dante asks her, did you have any involvement with the reason why they let him go? And she tells him, look, don't worry about it. Just know that we ain't need your money to do it. Monet tells Dante, we don't need to fight together anymore. There's nothing to fight. Mecca says, so at first I was the solution, now I'm the problem. Monet said, no, it's me. Lately I've been making big mistakes, like playing princess with you in a helicopter while our son was down at the precinct. It's time I get back to my responsibilities and stop playing fairy tale. Dante says to Monet, okay, and go back to what reality? Husband is locked up. Clearly you're still in the life because those expensive clothes you got on, they didn't come from this bar alone. Dante offers Monet trust funds for not only Zeke, but all of her children. And he tells her, maybe you can use the life that you want instead of running around here like your world is about to fall apart. Tells her that's not a life. It's a ticking time bomb, baby. Monet tells Dante that she's no longer that 16-year-old and that this is too much and just go ahead and go. Dante asks Monet, what is it going to take for you to make better choices? And he tells her, I'm not leaving New York without you. You can't handle this alone. Shortly after Dante leaves, Kane comes by Monet bar and Monet tells him that Tariq did admit to the truth, and Kane feels away because Monet took it easy on Tariq. Kane doesn't understand that Tariq is business and he does his business well. It's not until Kane steps in the picture and things get messy. Also, Tariq is her main dealer out there right now. I think her only. Just as Monet did with Tariq, she gives Kane the opportunity for a clean slate. She needs Kane to find out Tariq's weakness. She thinks that if she knows Tariq's weakness, then she can control him. I don't don't understand Moni's reasoning for double-crossing Tyreek and Kane. If Tyreek is the business, he been doing it well, why not protect him at all costs, including protecting him from Kane? Carrie marches over to the DA's office and she tells them that this book is a one-to-one. This book is about Tariq St. Patrick. And Jabari had it mistaken. He thought that I was sleeping with Tariq. Jabari drug dealer character is Tariq. I'm sure of it. Still, it's not making sense to Whitman. The students in the sting all said that the drug dealer was white. And Carrie tells him, well, maybe it's his roommate, Brayden. Kamal says, Brayden Weston, why would he need to sell drugs? Whitman says to Carrie, even if St. Patrick is selling drugs, he doesn't have a motive to kill Jabari like other students may. Shade. Not only would they have to tie Tyreek to the drug operation, they would have to also prove that he knew about the book. And they have no evidence. Kamal's recommendation is to get Tyreek on a wiretap. That's their only hope. Later on, Lauren goes to see Carrie and she wants to give the wire back. Now that Carrie is invested because she read the manuscript and, she thinks she know, which is, we know it's the truth, but she doesn't know a goddamn thing and need to stay her messy ass minding her business. Anyhow, she's so invested. She's like, shit, I can't let her not wear this wire. Carrie says to Lauren, I need to tell you something that must stay here. A few students from the sting identify the dealer as a preppy white kid, Brayden Weston. They don't suspect Tyreek was involved. Lauren asks Carrie, so if the drug operation is linked to the murder, do you think Brayden murdered Professor Reynolds? Carrie tells Lauren maybe not intentionally, but if Brayden found out about Jabari writing a book about his drug operation on campus, maybe Brayden told the wrong person. And Lauren is like, man, that's crazy. I have to tell Tyreek. Carrie said, no, if Tyreek alerts Brayden, you'll be in a whole lot of trouble and Tyreek will be your accomplice. And the way to protect Tyreek is to get any information about Brayden on that wire. Carrie needs her ass whipped real good. She's going to get Lauren killed. Over at the dormitories, Brayden walks inside his dwellings and Kane is inside. Kane tells Brayden, look, I've been trying to reach you all day. What, last night got you spooked? Brayden said, no, not at all. I did have to go to class. I am in college. I think last night's events, on top of Tyreek's instructions to stay away from Kane, really set with Brayden. And he had to really think like, yeah, he's a crazy nut. Kane said, okay, cool. Where's Tyreek? Brayden said, I don't know, probably with his girl. Knock, knock. The devil stays busy. It's Lauren. Lauren, is Tyreek here? Kane said, Tyreek is popular. Hey, light skin. I'm Lorenzo. You looking for a new friend? Lauren was like, no. How you know Tyreek? My cousin. Lauren said, oh, I just seen Tyreek with Zeke's aunt. Is that your mom? And I think this struck a nerve in Kane because Tyreek is what Kane isn't. Smart and charming. And he can't understand why Monet keeps dealing with Tyreek. And that is one of the reasons why Tyreek charmed his way in with Monet. Not so much in a cheeky way, but the way he was assertive and smooth, how he came to her. He was straight up when he met her. And the biggest part, Monet likes how smooth he's doing and how he's moving with the app and everything is less dangerous than having corner boys on the street with all that rah-rah mess. But Kane doesn't understand that because he's a fool. Lauren is talking way too much. She tells Kane that Tyreek should be back because they were supposed to be going apartment shopping. Brayden put a stop to that bullshit. He's like, okay, so I was about to go grab a hamburger. Lorenzo, if you want to come with me, I can treat you and maybe we'll run into Tyreek. Yeah, cut that shit off. Kane tried to come at Lauren for one last time. Yeah, just give me your number. And if we see him, I'm going to call you. Lauren was disgusted by Kane. Kane is chopping it up with Mecca, telling him that he followed Mecca's advice. Kane started to vent about how he thought that coming clean to Monet would give him leeway, but she said, fuck that shit. Mecca can see that this bothers Kane, and he's like, what's really good? Like I said earlier, Kane is jelly that Monet wasn't as angry with Tariq as she was with him. Kane gets the venting. Now I have to prove myself. Why Tariq don't have to prove himself? Because Kane, you are a fool, a fuck up. It's because of you that Tariq had to finish off Jabari. And I do have empathy for Kane. Kane is a fuck up, but Monet or Lorenzo isn't teaching him a damn thing. He is reckless and a loose cannon. He was like that before Tariq came into the picture. Look at how jealous he was over Ramirez and how envious. Just a mess. So as Kane is venting, Mecca, isn't stupid at all. He's figuring shit out. So he asks Kane, so this thing with cousin was about to go down for it was because of you and Tariq. Kane said, no, I ain't tell you that. Mecca said, you don't have to tell me that, but you're not the type to go down for someone else. If you're going to go on the run, that means you did it. Stupid ass boy. Mecca goes on to say, as for Monet, you're her plug. That means you're indispensable. Without you, her business can fall apart. And Kane says, shit don't move without Tariq either. And Mecca tells her, anybody can find a corner boy, but without a supplier, nobody is getting high. Mecca tells Kane, prove to her that you're the right option. Give her no choice. Don't let her pick Tariq, even if you have to force her hand. I'm a little confused on Mecca's motive. Why is he using Kane? Is he purposely trying to get Monet to retire? Because Kane is a fuck up, and what is he about to do that he won't get her or their family business in deeper shit? Everett is still over there swinging the straddling the fence whether he's going to fuck with a dope dealer or not. He mentioned that he was going to go in the draft pick, but since Drew came back, he has a reason to stay in New York. Everett is going to get his green ass killed. This have them sharing a kiss, and a knock at the door breaks it up. And it's Zeke. Zeke comes in with a new blonde on top of his head. He has a new lease on life. He says that agent's been calling and he is back in the draft pick. No more freaky Zeke. His head is on straight and he is focused. And then Zeke stopped to think, how y'all know each other? And Drew said, remember that night at the club? That night we want to all forget, and he was like, oh yeah, let's not even talk about that. Child, that was a corny ass excuse, okay? But since Everett isn't out, Drew is respecting his privacy. Tariq has been running all around New York City trying to take care of business for his custody hearing coming up. He needs money and he needs legal representation, and he got to make sure everything is straight so he can gain custody of Yaz. He meets up with his conservator and he put the pressure on him about representing him in court tomorrow. He didn't want to do it. And again, Tariq remind him of his responsibility to his father in controlling everything that goes on with his children, making sure they straight and everything like that. So he put the guilt trip on him and he told him, okay, if you have to make sure everything is prepared and I'll be there to put my word in for you tomorrow at 3:00. So Tariq is in a tight position. 3:00 tomorrow. He don't have no funds coming in because Monet shut everything down because of all the commotion going on campus. So Tariq meets up with Diana and he wants Diana to cop some drugs from Kane without Monet knowing. And Diana already on point. She know what it is. And she's like, she shut it down. You try not to tell her what's really going on. I'm not doing this unless you tell me the truth. Tariq opens up to Diana, and he tells her everything about the court hearing, about him needing an apartment, everything. Diana said, cool, okay, I'll do it for you, but you have to do something for me. Diana explains to Tariq that she don't trust Kane right now either. She's like, okay, Ramirez, we know that he killed Ramirez, but all that mysterious shit about the body popping up because Zeke went down for it, that is not sitting right with her. And not only that, she tells Tariq that she think that Kane replaced their yayo with sugar. Like we know he did. To deal with Tariq, that he needs to tell her any and everything that she can find out, that he can find out about Kane. I am my brother's keeper. Now she done took her ass across town and linking up with Kane, telling Kane all of Tariq's business. Now Monet knows Tariq's weakness. Diana is trying to rationalize with this fool, like, come on now, he got a custody hearing, he's trying to do some things, and Kane said, that sounds like a him problem. Diana, well, she's standing up for her man. She said, well, I might make it a you problem and tell Monet that you stole our drugs and replaced it with sugar, because you wanted to get back in with the family. Kane said, what? Huh? You just like Monet. Y'all always running your mouth on no stuff. Just running off fake news. Fake news? Well, let me tell her and see what she think about it. Kane didn't want to do that. He like, all right. But he tells Diana that Tariq has to be the one to pick it up himself. See, I didn't think that Tariq will be that green, because I think that he trusts the family too much. I know that he's probably peeping at them like they messy. So he probably think he can do things like that with Diana meeting up, thinking she won't tell the rest of the family. But family always gonna stick together. Tariq, you got to be smarter with them. Find a connect outside of them. Lauren met up with Curry and Detective Kamal and Detective Whitman. Lauren didn't have much on the wire about Tariq or Brayton's involvement in the drug operations or the murders. Only thing that they did have was Kane, macking to Lauren. They're going to upgrade her device, and they asked her to be more aggressive. And they also told her that they will coach her on what questions to ask. And Lauren is like, no, I don't want to do that. But they don't give a fuck. Whitman pulls Kamal to the side, and he thinks that Zeke now has got Kane to do the murder. Kamal is like, we don't have proof of this, or even a motive as to why he would want Ramirez dead. Kamal wants to look more into Tariq. Whitman still can't wrap his head around it. Kamal tells him, okay, we'll look into Kane, but we can't tell Jenny. Well, Whitman said, fuck whatever Kamal had to say, because he went and met up with Jenny at a bar, and he slides her Kane profile to take a deeper look into it. Jenny is kind of reluctant because she just gave a statement as to why Zeke wasn't a suspect. However, the fact that Ramirez district was in the same area that the Tejadas live in, that makes her kind of suspicious. And she tells Whitman, look, you're going to need way more evidence than this. Renee goes to visit Lorenzo, and she's telling him everything about Zeke being free. And Lorenzo was like, yeah, I told you that's all you had to do is have a little faith. And she's like, I should have had some faith. She's like, yeah, right, nigga. You don't know what I had to do to get this. Sax hits up Lorenzo while he's sitting there having a visit with Monet. And Sax says, I'm calling to discuss your hearing tomorrow. Are you free to talk? And Lorenzo asks Monet to leave. Monet said, dead ass? He said, yeah. So she left. And it seems like Renzo was coming home, and Monet is going to be shocked. Clean goes to see his brother Theo in jail. And Theo was like, what are you doing here, Davis? I got a knitting class that's about to start. McLean tells him that he has a similar client with the similar background as his brother. Manslaughter, eyewitness, a long rap sheet. Clean tells his brother that if Sex is successful in getting said client released, he's going to get him to get on his brother's case. It seems as though Theo took a criminal charge to keep McLean out of prison. Davis tells him he'll do anything that he can to get Theo out of prison. And Theo tells McLean that he'll do anything to keep McLean out of prison. Okay, my brother's keeper. Okay, y'all, remember Tariq is supposed to meet Kane directly to pick up the drugs. But Tariq said, fuck Kane's direct orders, and he sends Brayton to pick up the goods. Unbeknownst to both Kane and Brayton, Tariq was using Lauren's car to follow Kane. Remember, Monet is making Tariq work to earn her trust back. Tariq follows Kane to Mecca's condo. He watches Kane speaking to the speakers and and I know he see them security cameras. Kane goes inside. Tariq pulls his hood over his head and pulls his phone out and starts recording the call box outside of the building. Looking suspicious as fuck on camera. Tariq, I know you're smarter than this. Nuff comes out of the bushes, yoked Tariq up on the wall, took his phone. Nuff like, this nigga spying on us? He talking to the camera. Tariq like, no, I was making a phone call. Chef and Kane is watching everything going on the TV monitor. Chef said, who is that? One of Mahoney boys? Do you know him? Kane said, no, I don't. Nuff start fucking Tariq up. Chef said, are you sure you don't know him? Nuff is fucking him up and he don't stop. So Kane like, I said I ain't never seen that nigga a day in my life. Chef is looking at Kane like, you a lying ass bitch. Chef tells Nuff to stop and let Tariq go. Tariq is beat the fuck up and he makes it over to Monet's. Diana rushes to Tariq aid, and at the same time Everett is dropping Drew off. Tariq may have been beat the fuck up, but he peeped that shit. Also, Everett peeped Tariq. Messy. There's not nothing wrong with that, but being exposed, it gives more people the option to be like, oh yeah, I seen him here. Oh yeah, I seen that person with this person. Too much. You're supposed to be low key. Now, back at Mecca's back home, and they're trying to figure out who Tariq was. Chef said it couldn't have been one of Mahoney boys, unarmed and alone. Nuff said, I took care of his ass, Mecca. Now he's talking to Kane. But are you sure you didn't bring him? Chef said, yeah, he could have followed him. But Kane said he didn't know him. Mecca said, is that true? Do you know him? Did he follow you? Kane said, no. Mecca said, okay. Nuff said, what? You gonna just take his word like that? Mecca says to Nuff, once you realize he was the Mahoney's, you should have let him go. We don't need any civilian complaints to put us at risk. Mecca gives Chef the cue, and Chef sliced Nuff neck the fuck up, and Nuff is bleeding out over there at the sushi bar. Okay, it's the next morning, and Tariq got his road runners on, and he is rushing over to meet up with Lauren to secure an apartment. He gets there late and beat the fuck up. He scares the landlady off by his face. She's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I rented that out. Lauren is like, oh my God, Tariq, what happened to your face? Tariq isn't worried about his face. He need a place. Bars. Lauren tells Tariq, I think it can help. She's going to let Tariq stay at her brother's apartment while he's in a halfway house. So we know that the detective told Lauren to be more aggressive and try to pull more information from Tariq. Lawrence says to Tariq, now you have a spot. You don't have to stay with Brayton anymore. And Tariq said, Brayton is cool. He's no problem. Lawrence said, you don't think that it was kind of weird how happy he was when Professor Reynolds died, offering a shoulder to cry on and everything? Tariq said, no, Brayton didn't even know Professor Reynolds until I told him about him. Lauren asks him, what about Professor Reynolds' book? Do you think it was about Brayton? Tariq said, no, Professor Reynolds told me who was the book about. Plus, he only writes about black people, so it's definitely not Brayton. And Whitman and Kamal is outside eavesdropping on that tape, eating all this shit up. Of course, Whitman still doesn't see the truth. He thinks Kari is reaching, trying to take the heat off Zeke. Kamal thing is, Tariq was the last student to see Jabari. He has a choke record of him in drug activity. He was Brayton's roommate back then. It could be possible that they're back in business with this drug operation. So if Tariq is linked to this drug operation and he found out that Jabari was writing about him, that gives him motive. Still, it doesn't make sense to Whitman, and it's not enough for a warrant. But it's enough for them to order a search on Tariq's dorm room. Has to be more backstory with Curry and Whitman. Because Whitman, maybe Curry fucked Whitman's father. I don't know. Because he got it out for Zeke. And how Curry put him up to this. It's just sad. Okay, over to Casa Tejada. Monet is blowing Tariq's phone up. And Kane brings her the phone. Monet like, what's this? Kane said, Tariq's phone. This what you wanted, right? He got a custody case for his sister tomorrow. Kane says to Monet, you know they could have killed us both yesterday for what you did. And then Tariq to follow me to the Connect. I'm not stupid, no matter how much you tell me I am. The whole time I'm up here blaming Tariq, and you the problem. I'm thinking you really want me back, and you was just playing us both. You're a fucking joke. Monet said, I didn't ask you to kill Ramirez or that professor. I do whatever I need to do to keep this family and this business from falling. Kane says, well, that's the goddamn problem right there. It's always family or business. What am I to you, your soldier or your son? Monet said, both. And Kane says, so what kind of mother does that make you? And I felt Kane on this part. I can imagine that's why he act out the way he do. With Lorenzo being gone, Kane had to step up and be a man before he was even a man. So it's still a little boy still hurting in him. And the fact that Monet do treat him like a soldier, that has to weigh on him. How can he value himself? That's why he does not value himself. He does not value others. And could be the reason why. Okay, it's court day for Tariq. And Tariq has 99 problems. And this bitch Monet is one of them. Tariq is walking to the courthouse and she pulls up with the gun in her lap. Get in. Monet is upset that he found out that she was double-crossing them. So just like her son taking no accountability, she wants to blame Tariq for that. And Kane didn't catch Tariq. Mecca's tight security caught Tariq. Now Monet want to blame Tariq for all the shit that Zeke had to go through. She's talking about because Zeke almost lost his freedom, Tariq gonna learn how it feel to lose his sister. How now she has the control. Tariq tells her ass, control. You think you can do this shit without me? You're on a sinking island and you can't even see the shit that's going on around you. Kane, oh, he the one who replaced the drugs with the sugar. Drew, he still fucking that nigga that mentioned his name to them boys. And Diana, she stole your money from out the bar. He tells Monet, you need me and I need my sister, so what we gonna do? Monet opens the door and let him out. Let me tell you something, Tariq is better than me, and maybe because I am a female, but I would have really dug in Monet's ass, because how narcissistic is this? Your son is the root cause of all of this. And you coming to me talking about you gonna hold me up from getting my sister. Are you dumb, bitch? At the 11th hour, Tariq makes it to court. And he walks in, face all busted up. So the judge is like, look, I'm thinking about leaving Yaz into foster care, into grandmother over here gets herself together, complete the program and get herself together. He coming in here looking the way he looked. Tariq's conservator, I forget his name, but he said that I understand that, Your Honor, but Tariq's situation aren't those of an average teenager. Shows the judge all of Tariq's credentials as far as his income, him having a place to stay, things of that sort. Tariq's grandmother is going off because she's just bitter right now because Tariq is fighting for custody. Tariq tells the court, look, I don't want to beef with my grandmother, but she's going through some things right now, and I don't want my sister in foster care. I want to raise my sister. And until my grandmother can go to a program that I'll pay for, finish it, and complete it, I want Jasmine to stay with me. And she understood. The judge understood. Just like Ghost, Tariq is a man of many words, and he's going to talk his way through shit. I'm never mad at that. You should always know how to articulate yourself. It'll take you a long way. And the judge grant him custody of Yaz. So Monet meets up with Mecca. Well, I should say Dante in this case. And what Tariq said to her resonated with her, so it got her thinking like, yes, my world is sinking, my island is sinking on me. Children out here running wild, they don't trust one another. I thought that I'd bring them in this game would make them strong. When they said she is tired, she is ready to press the reset button. Now she want to take those trust funds. I bet you would. So Mecca asked her, so can I meet Zeke now? And Monet said, well, let me talk it over with my kids. But I think so. And this made Mecca happy and all they kissy face. Child, I ain't gonna be able to meet Zeke. Court is over. Tariq had to get some extra trimmings on everything before Yaz can officially come with him. Just like paperwork or something. So he gives Yaz a kiss, promised to be back to pick her up. As soon as everything is squared away with that. So he head back to the campus. It's police activity. All this police activity. Like the detective said, they had enough for the dean to grant them a search warrant inside Tariq's dorm room. They gets in there, going through his stuff. And what do they find? They find the badge that snake ass Kane planted. Tariq comes up on campus, feeling brighter, like a brighter day, and he see all this police activity. He spotted Brayden like motioning his head, like, get the fuck up out of here. But Kamal spots him and he says, Tariq St. Patrick, you're under arrest for the murder of Ramirez. Yeah. And everyone that goes to the college is looking at him. Maybe not, but that's what it seems like. I can tell this was like so humiliating. And I feel so bad for Tariq. And this is the same song they played when Ghost was arrested. It's just like the saddest song. Lauren is out there and she tried to run up to Tariq and Milgram like, let him go, Lauren. It's what he deserves. I feel bad for Tariq. I do. I know a lot of y'all don't like Tariq, but Tariq is just like Ghost. I didn't hate Ghost, but I always seen his flaws where a lot of people do not. And if y'all never seen his flaws, y'all might as well look right at Tariq, because Tariq is making a lot of the same mistakes that his father did. Speaking of what his father did, Ghost, when Tariq was arrested, the conservatory came in and he gave Tariq a letter. He said, your father told me give this in the event that you was ever arrested. Child, Tariq reads the letter and it says, I knew you would find your way in here. Damn, Tariq. Okay, back over to Monet. She about to go in the house, talk to her brats about what she told Mecca. I don't know. I'm assuming. She gets in the house and as she's walking through the door, she hears a whole fiesta going on. Bitch, Lorenzo is sitting at the head of his dining room table. Honey, I'm home. What the fuck? That put a dart in your plans, Monet. Who will she choose? I mean, both of them is fine as fuck. Me, I'm more so of a Mecca type guy than Lorenzo. But sure, I don't know. What y'all think? That's it on this episode. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.